It was a typical Friday night when I left the office, exhausted and eager to get home. The clock on my dashboard read 11:45 p.m. as I merged onto the desolate highway, surrounded by nothing but darkness. The only company I had was the hum of the engine and the soft crackle of the radio, playing some forgotten 80s tune. As I drove along the deserted road, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Glancing in my rearview mirror, I saw nothing but the empty expanse of highway behind me. I chalked it up to exhaustion and continued my journey, trying to shake off the unease settling in my stomach. About halfway home, I noticed a dim light flickering on the side of the road. Intrigued, I pulled over to investigate. The light came from an old, dilapidated gas station that seemed frozen in time. Its flickering neon sign read Desolation Fuel. I hesitated but decided to fill up my tank since my car's gas gauge was flirting with the empty mark. The gas station was eerily quiet. No attendant in sight, just the low hum of the fluorescent lights overhead. I filled my tank quickly, eager to leave the creepy atmosphere behind. As I went to grab the nozzle, a sudden gust of wind made me shiver. I felt a chill down my spine, as if the night itself was warning me to leave. Back on the road, I glanced at the clock, realizing how late it was. The highway seemed even more desolate, the darkness thicker. My headlights cut through the blackness, revealing only a narrow path ahead. The unease from earlier returned, and my heart raced as if trying to keep up with the accelerating beat of my own fear. I noticed a pair of dim headlights in my rearview mirror, gradually gaining on me. I felt a knot tighten in my stomach, a primal instinct telling me that something was terribly wrong. I sped up, but the headlights matched my every move, edging closer with each passing second. My mind raced through possibilities. A late-night commuter, a lost traveler, anything to rationalize the fear that clawed at my throat. But the car behind me seemed to have no intention of passing. Panic set in as I considered my options. I decided to take an exit, hoping to lose the mysterious car through the labyrinthine streets of a nearby town. But as I navigated the dark, unfamiliar roads, I became disoriented. The headlights remained behind me, an unyielding presence in the shadows. Desperation took hold as I realized I was being followed, and the sinister feeling that had lingered since the gas station intensified. I needed help. Spotting a dimly lit convenience store, I pulled into the parking lot and rushed inside, my breaths shaky and uneven. The store's cashier, an elderly man with tired eyes, looked up as the bell chimed above the entrance. I mustered the courage to explain my situation, but as I turned to point out the headlights outside, I froze. There, parked by the entrance, was the car that had been tailing me, an old, rusted sedan with no visible driver. The cashier's eyes widened in horror, mirroring my own terror. He reached for the phone, hands trembling, and dialed the police. As we waited, the atmosphere inside the store grew thick with an otherworldly presence. The flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows, and the air seemed to vibrate with an unknown force. When the police arrived, the sedan outside was empty, its doors locked. There was no trace of the driver. The officers exchanged uneasy glances, unable to explain the bizarre occurrence. As they left, the elderly cashier whispered to me, "You've encountered the Desolation Phantom, the spirit of those lost on this forsaken stretch of highway. It follows those who venture into the night, seeking something it can never find." I left the store with a lingering sense of dread, the image of the empty sedan haunting my thoughts. As I resumed my journey home, the memory of that night would forever be etched in my mind, a chilling reminder of the supernatural lurking in the darkness, waiting for unsuspecting souls to cross its path.